Alix, Paultre, editor-at-large for Microwaves and RF, and I'm here in Amsterdam at the Things Network conference with Wienke Giezeman, friend of the show, or at least friend of mine, and we've been talking about the things industries for years. It's come a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like IoT is hard. It's hard work, and you have to work smart. But as we've shown here at the opening keynote, the traction is here. We'll be hitting our millionth LoRaWAN device registered on our platforms. But what's amazing about it is that IoT and even putting a single sensor out there is actually really hard. You have to install it. There's a lot of cost associated with it. So, yeah, our estimate is that the total cost of ownership of such a device is on average $200. So you can do the math, what kind of value it's creating. And then you have to have the value creation on top, right? So we're super proud on how we got here and that we're here right now with this amazing crowd, like 1,100 people for a user conference. It's great.
It's very impressive, Wienke. You know, and when you think about it, the timing is perfect because the cloud is expanding. People are trying to reduce bandwidth usage with edge computing and AI and all of that other. But you can also just use a lower bandwidth, a better infrastructure system that you're not taking over the 5G network for.
Yeah, so in the end, it's the quality that the data has for the business, right? And we see a few trends. So first of all, we see low-code, no-code. So you see that 10 years ago, you had to hire like large consultancy software companies to build your IT infrastructure. And now you see you have these tools where you can drag and drop workflows, etc. And that's called low-code, no-code. The second trend we see is the emergence of the enterprise developer. So after the crisis in 2008, a lot of companies started to outsourcing IT. And what you now see over the last 5 years is that these large corporates are hiring developers again. And now even it's such that corporate companies are hiring more engineers than IT companies. So what you then get is you have the enterprise developer has a generic skill set, and they need to be able to like connect and integrate these microservices with like drag and drop kind of manner. So what we do is we try to be the little microservice that reduce your world full of pain when dealing with LoRaWAN. And we're really like riding that wave, and that's why we have these amazing customers on stage. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, what's next for the Things Network? You know, Wienke, we've got a lot happening here, and some of it is that people have been pent up for years waiting to tell everybody about their news. We've got new technologies here, new connections. So what's next?
Yeah, so what's next is that now we have the networks, the devices. Behind us is the big device wall of fame, and everybody built their own silo, but using open technologies. So that it's really easy to open up the data and share with the ecosystem of users. Of course, data is private, right? Data is, you generate the data, it's yours. But what we now see is that companies building these networks are combining this data into what they call digital twins, like a paradigm where we think about making sure that the data of an enterprise is in one place, representing their, let's say, physical operations, and that's what we see is the next trend. So, combining data in a building, right, of sensors and actuators, or in a city. We had two examples on stage. Somebody talking about building smart controllers for streetlights, and somebody is creating an app with a community that's registering safe and unsafe places in the city. If you can combine that and can control the lighting and maybe make it brighter in unsafe areas and make it dim it in where people feel safe, you can save lighting but keep the livelihood, safety and livelihood of the city the same.
Very nice, very nice. So, are there any thoughts you wanted to leave with our audience? I think we still have a minute or two. No, we still have a few minutes left. If you wanted to talk a little bit about some of the aspects, is there anything you wanted to call out?
Yeah, so typically also if people are watching this online or after the fact, there's one message here. So LoRaWAN is here and now, and the time to value has never been too short. And what I mean with time to value is that you have an idea, you want to implement it, you grab the tools from the right partners, maybe a low-code, no-code platform from Microsoft Azure. You use the Things Industries, LoRaWAN network server, and you use 2 or 3 devices. You put them together, you show that the business case works, and if it works at 1, it also works at 1,000 and at 10,000. So the real takeaway is here is that you can touch it, you can build it, and you can deliver value and make the business case work within 3 months. And that's what I would love everybody to understand here, that it's now.
Well, I mean, the Things Network, the Things organization infrastructure, it extends into outer space now even, right? I mean, you're everywhere.
Yeah. So we made a very cool announcement that one of the satellites of Lacuna Space can be used by anybody around the world to use our for the use in our development platform, the Things Network, and freely can send messages. So go to the Lacuna Space website and booth, and you'll be able to learn how to make such an antenna, and the data is flowing. And this is so in our paradigm. Like, the paradigm is no permission required. If you're a developer, I don't want to talk to account managers. I don't want to talk to salespeople. Give me the tools. I have bigger fish to fry. I first want to see if it works end to end, and then we'll talk business. And this is how IoT works. This is how developers work. So it's really cool to see that we now can also bring that into that ecosystem of, just try it out. Make it work on your own. If you succeed, the value is yours.
Well, it's all about creating solutions, isn't it, Wienke?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's the cliche. It's really easy to say. It is really hard to execute. But every day, I hope our company contributes to the fact that just becomes a little less harder.
More tools for the engineer.
More tools for the engineers, and more value for your customers. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Wienke. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us today.
Sure. Happy to be here. Yeah.